How's everyone doing? I wanted to make a video real quick just to cover some things that I've talked about, the announcements, and I've also kind of got an interesting look at this triangle on Bitcoin we've been looking at. I saw someone draw it a little bit different, and it's actually pretty interesting. That's the thing about technical analysis it's really in the eye of the person who is doing the technical analysis. You know, everybody's going to be slightly different, sometimes drastically different, you know. So over time, you just kind of develop your style and find out what works most. The patterns that typically play out the best are those that nobody else sees. So just wanted to talk about a few things real quick with you guys. Thought this was funny real quick. So this guy says, please check your kid's candy tonight. I just found a full gun in a Twix bar. Boom, boom. Okay, so here it is. Bitcoin USD. So the way this triangle is drawn, it has this touch point here, this touch point here, and then basically, well, let's get it to touch right here. If we move this down a little bit more. So that would even give us 3 touch points, would make it pretty valid. Okay, so the interesting thing is this shows that that whole tether situation broke through, and possibly that manipulation was used to break out of this triangle. So that's an interesting point. And then the key is with these patterns, whenever you see a break to the upside, you want to see, let me see if I can zoom in real quick. You want to see it break through and then pull back and then bounce off the triangle, which it's done twice now. So it found, remember, this is resistance. This is a resistance line, and it's found support on that resistance. So that's another good indicator that this might be valid. Now there's 1 touch, 2 touches here, but so I thought this was pretty interesting. And the market right now, I don't know. There's not a lot of volume. There's not a lot of buyers, but I feel like we've got this backed move coming. There's a lot of positive things happening. I think we could any type of catalyst. We get definitely a negative catalyst. We'll go down to 5,000 in a second. There's a lot more. It's a lot harder for us to break higher than it is if we break lower. We'll be down in 5,000 area, 5,500, 5,700, 5,500, and then 5,000 because there's no previous support. It's basically a free fall in this area, okay? But when you're going higher, you've got this right here, resistance. There's this resistance. There's a ton of resistance on the way up. So it's going to be a lot harder to move higher. And then but again, it gets easy to break lower. I want to talk about XRP real quick. I talk about this all the time, but make sure you guys understand. So XRP had a really good run up, and then it's basically consolidated, pulled back, consolidated, hit its bottom, and then now it's moving sideways. Well, why does it pick this spot to stop? Why is it moving sideways right here? So come back here and look at this, all this activity, price action back here. And again, you can go to and see why is this support right here that was developed back here. So imagine the price action came down here, bounce, 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 bounce. Every time it bounced, it creates a support. Okay, so you've got this support here, bounce, 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 bounce. It can't get below that. So a break lower would mean there's support here and support here, which I found with this point and this point. You guys don't really have to know a whole lot about technical analysis at all. Draw some trend lines, find some support and resistance, and you'll have an idea. Possibly, I encourage some people that haven't tried Fibonacci retracement out. So the way that works, and just to show you, and to show you this is a good example of it works. So you pull from the top down. If you're looking at a downtrend right here, you pull from the top down. And again, we're going to line up to this low back here, okay? So now look how perfect that is. What's perfect about it? This 0.382 level right here, 0.382. See this line? See how this line, 0.786, 0.618, 0.5. That means from here, 0.5, it's retraced 50%. You got to use the wicks when you do this, okay? So your previous low, your high, and that gives you your fib levels. This will tell you buy zones. So down here was a good point to pick up XRP. Now it's bouncing. It's bouncing exactly on the 0.382 level. These fib levels, and it worked perfect with this previous, this support from back here. So it lines up right here, and so that even gives this support, it makes it a stronger support. So I wanted to talk about that. Also, I thought this was pretty cool. I covered, this is from CZ, tweeted, hey, these are all the use cases for BNB. And interesting, Coinbase actually tweeted it. There's a link actually in the Telegram announcements. If you sign up there, you get $12.50 in Bates tokens for signing up. The cool thing is you can take those tokens, you can sign up, and you can get a higher percentage of crypto back, but you're getting like 3, 5, 7%, whatever it is back, just depending on the store. But you can shop, like I get Protein, GNC, I get crypto back for that. Microsoft, if you buy anything from Microsoft, they've got Xbox stuff for Christmas, computer stuff, obviously. Canon, Calvin Klein, Macy's, they have 25 pretty big stores so far. They're looking to add another 75. I believe it was the first quarter of 2019 by the end of it. So anyways, I thought this was pretty good recognition by CZ. Whenever a billionaire talks about a project, yeah, pretty good thing to listen to. Let's just look at some other news real quick. So this I talked about today on today's video. So this was, if you look, we've got 3 red candles. This is 2015, March, April, May. Okay, so if you see what happens right here, we get a run up. This would be June and July. We had a good run up. But notice, typically November and December are good months for crypto. So especially Bitcoin. So you see a good run up and then it plummeted. This is definitely a possibility as far as what we're going to do the next 2 months. So you see here, so we had these 3 red candles, and this is a monthly chart. Now we've got your 3 red candles again. I really feel like we should have a green month this month, so I'm definitely excited about that. Kind of moving a little bit more bullish than I have been. I think there's a good chance that the bottom possibly is in. It's possible we dip down to 5,800, but I don't know if I see the market going a whole lot lower. It would take something bad. If a catalyst comes out that's really bad, that obviously changes everything. But so I want to talk about that. VeChain. First, I want to talk about, let's look at some of these good coins. So I've been talking WAN chain looks good. Okay, so I posted this. So you got this huge like half bowl shape, and then you got an uptrend at the bottom. See that? Walton chain. Again, huge half bowl shape, and then it's in an uptrend. And if you look, it's up quite a bit from the low mid-August. Okay, so these are the altcoins that you want to hold. This pattern, it's bottomed from last year's prices. It's bottom. Here's what you do not, if you have one of these coins and you don't want to trade it, you're making a mistake. I'll show you what it is. Look, so VeChain, let me find it. VeChain already had its run up. Here it is. VeChain. Okay, so look at this. Like VeChain had that big dip around middle of August. It shot up in price while everything was still falling and not doing much. And now it's in a clear downtrend. Okay, so this pattern right here is nowhere near as good as the other ones I just showed you. Okay, so it's important. It's important to know, hey, this is market cycles are all about, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Market cycles are about being in the right point in the cycle. If it's a downtrend and it hasn't got to the bottom yet, hasn't bottomed, and it hasn't started moving higher, consolidating, moving sideways. I'm going to talk about that. I'll show you that now. These Telegram bells will keep going off because I have to be in here to show you guys this. So Scam alert, be careful any links you click on ending in .scr. There's some people in Apollo's Telegram that got a bunch of coins stolen from them, so always be mindful of that. Let's go back up here. I want to talk about, this is a market cycle. Okay, this is actually 2 market cycles. So it shows you, so right here is start of 1. You've got stealth phase, awareness phase, mania phase, blow off phase. Okay, so you get your takeoff, your first sell off, your bear trap, media, attention, enthusiasm, greed, delusion, denial. When we're at our top, we're at 20,000. Everybody's denying it, that we're falling now. And then it's a bull trap, return to normal, fear, capitulation, return to the mean, despairs down here too. And then, so these repeat, okay? So, but the distance and what happens in between them is important to recognize. So what I want you to see here is half of this cup shape is where we're at with a lot of these coins. So this is what the rest of the cup shape will look like, or the bowl, whatever you want to call it, is going to look like this, okay? So that's important to know. So this is a run up from 2014. Okay, so you have these big wave patterns. Okay, so here's the peak in 2014. Look at this. It was 4 years from one peak to the next. Anybody that thinks crypto is going to 20,000 in the next 3 months is wrong. Okay, it's not going to happen. That's just not the way this market works. So there's going to be a length of time in between. There's going to be a length of time in between all of this. So we got your cup shape. And again, we've probably going to hit this green line again, which is right about where we're at, and then start moving higher, just like we have previously quite a few times. Let me see if I can. I don't want to leave the group. See if I can mute it. Okay. Let me see if I have anything else. ECA chart. Peggy asked about ECA. Yeah, good chart. Okay, so the key is here is still it's moving sideways, slow, barely an uptrend. Okay, so this is still in a good point compared to VeChain. It's better than VeChain. WanChain is further ahead in the market cycle. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overall idea on what I'm seeing, what I'm looking for. I'm definitely starting. Here's another one, TNT. Again, this is definitely in an uptrend now. So you've got your huge half bull. Now it basically starts to go sideways here, back mid-August, and now it starts to move higher. So again, these are the charts. These are the trades you want to be in. These are the coins you want to be in. Do not chase green coins. Do not FOMO into these coins that are up 400% right now. You're making a mistake. Like, yeah, can you make money? Sure. But the chances of losing money are a lot higher than they are if you're buying down here at the bottom. So anyways, I just wanted to thank you guys, everybody, for your support. And definitely, if you need anything, just reach out. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.